We invite you into the shop to do questions and answers, show you what we've been working on, and any of that stuff. So welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time.
And if you're here, put something in the comments. Tell us hi. Tell us you're here so we know we're not just
talking into the void, or that the audio is not working and that the comment section's working.
Yeah.
That way everything's good, because we have had technical glitches in the past.
We are not IT people.
Yeah. So if you're watching this later on the replay, thanks for sticking around, and sorry we missed you live, but we are live at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time every Thursday that we're in town. So if you can, plan accordingly. I know it's a little bit harder for you West Coast guys, but we do appreciate everybody that can be here for the live and contributes questions and engagement for the event.
Dalton's here. Hey, what's up, Dalton? He said everything's working fine.
Good.
Yay.
Good.
Every time we do this and it works better, we're like really proud of ourselves, I think. Rich says hi. And then we haven't hooked it up, but you got a Wi-Fi access point.
Yep,
right?
so I got a Wi-Fi extender, an access point to use as an extender or a repeater into the back room, and the cable should be here hopefully this weekend, if not maybe Monday, and then I'll do my best to get it hooked up and we can actually go into the back room.
Yeah, so cross your fingers next week.
Yeah, I have to figure out how the repeater works, because I thought it would just extend our Wi-Fi signal, but apparently it's going to be its own subnetwork, so I don't know how we're going to, if we have to connect to that subnetwork, I don't know.
That sounds complicated.
Yep. So.
Gabe's here. Hello, hello.
Yep. Welcome and welcome.
All right, so what did you work on this week?
I actually did something.
Whoa.
So I finished up fender number 2 for the Watson trailer. So we have fender number 2, fender number 1. They're not perfect, but they're trailer fenders. Pretty happy with them. And I just got to draw the line somewhere so you're not nitpicking and chasing too much and keeping things affordable. So decently happy with them. They could be better, they could be worse. But like I said, you have to draw that line somewhere.
I almost thought you said these are trailer trash.
No.
I was like, what? No, that's not what that is.
No. Nope.
Oh, awesome. So Dalton said, that sounds great. Fabit said, happy Thursday, happy Thursday. Yeah. Dalton said, those look super good, Mike.
Yeah, thanks.
T-Saint said, hello, hello.
Yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't say I'm not satisfied with them. I can see flaws and errors and things that I would want to change, but again, you have to find the point of acceptable and not chase perfection. You know, if not, I'd be on these things for the rest of my life, because I'd just be nitpicking everything. So, yeah.
It's kind of like art in that way, right?
Exactly. And I'm never happy with anything that I do. I always see the flaws, and I always want to nitpick and make things better and better, which is a blessing and a curse. It makes you a better craftsman, but also it drives you insane because you're never completely satisfied. So work within tolerance, not to perfection.
Yeah. Martin Miller's here. He says hello from Beaton, Ontario.
Yeah, welcome. What are you doing? You're knocking stuff over. You're tripping over stuff.
I know. I'm running into stuff.
Yeah.
Dalton said that's something he's been struggling with lately, like knowing when to.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part, is stuff that I see most people won't ever notice.
Yeah.
So it's a really delicate thing, like, is the juice worth the squeeze? You know, you have to take each job into account of what's it for, and chasing that perfection. Is it going to be worth, say, put another 100 hours in them to make them that much nicer?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't see putting 100 hours into it being that beneficial for what they're for. When it's a trailer fender, it's going to get a little skim coat of filler and painted. So.
And they're probably going to get dinged up and.
Yeah. So.
Hopefully used, right?
That's it will be used, and they're going one fender on each side. So if they're a little bit different, you know, you're not going to see them up against each other. The best thing I could do is they fit the buck the same. The radius gauge fit on the outside. Yeah, radius gauge matched the corner radius. And it's just mainly a couple little waves and imperfection spots. And you're talking less than a 64th of an inch. It's just the light reflects it and makes it look way worse than it is. But we use light to adjust the metal. And you just get into that chasing perfection. And I just decided to draw the line and keep it more cost effective for the client. And you know, they're probably 80%.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of my thing. I try to be in the 80 to 90%, just for cost effectiveness, time wise, and not driving myself totally insane.
Yeah, yeah. Gabe said 100%. Fenders look good.
Thank you.
Rick said you do really nice work. Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, thank you.
T-Saint said, wouldn't achieving perfection ruin your passion to continue metal shaping? It's probably. And he also said some sort of Asian proverb in there. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael Anderson's here. He said, good day from Australia.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about all I've been doing this week. I think I've done other stuff. I just can't remember. Yeah, because this was on my board. I rewrote the schedule since last week because it is a new month.
Wait for my little legs.
Yeah, like I've had a bunch of running and stuff to do this week.
Yeah.
So, you know, I had the Pashong fenders on here, finished the fender, no exceptions. So I got that done today. And we had to take one of the trucks to the dealership, and then I had a tattoo appointment yesterday. So that ate up some time, and it's just, yeah.
And you've got a garage night tomorrow night?
Yep, so we have garage night tomorrow night. If you're interested in coming, it'll be great, hopefully. And
yeah, it's supposed to be like 75 tomorrow.
yeah, I think a little rainy, but it's been rainy forever.
Yeah, it's been rainy. It's spring.
Yeah.
It's spring in Ohio.
So Brian worked on the Indy Roadster some more this week. Got the new seat in, got it mounted. New fuel pickup sender in fuel tank mounted. There's still going to be a like a hold down that we have to make, and Swiss cheesed out the brackets to make it look a little fancier. Race car stuff.
Race car stuff. So is it just like, okay, it's not like a whole tray on the bottom?
No,
Sorry.
it's just angle.
Okay, yeah. Boop. Oh.
Yeah, transmission's mounted, engine's mounted, seats mounted, all the pedals are mounted, engine oil coolers mounted, remote oil filters mounted, ordered all the new AN lines and AN fittings for the fuel system, the brake lines, so we mapped all that stuff out. A bunch of little stuff, but it's actually starting to look like a car.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah, so really happy with the way everything's looking on it.
You guys want to see anything special on this or anything in particular? Let me know.
Yeah, and we started mapping out
Slow
kind of
down.
ideas of where we're going to put stuff to kind of hide things. Like I don't like to see a lot of wiring, especially in these Indy cars. They didn't really have much wiring. They had a mag shutoff, oil pressure, engine temp, that kind of stuff. So very minimal wiring. But you know, with this being a modern engine and it having a Haltech ECU running it, we're going to have quite a bit more wiring. So we're going to put a Canon plug kind of tucked down here underneath the header will block all of that. So it'll come out in this area, and then we can tuck all the wiring up and kind of hide it. So mapping that kind of stuff out, where we want to put the battery so it's kind of hidden. You know, all that little stuff is pretty tedious.
Yeah, Michael said on the Indy Roadster, what fuel do you use? Pump fuel or race fuel?
I think he just runs standard pump gas. Probably if it were mine, I'd run like 100 to 110 octane race gas just to get a little bit more power out of it. But these are exhibition cars, and you know, it's a Mazda Miata engine. He doesn't need it. It's not a full built race engine. So you know, if it was an Offie, it would be ran on alcohol or methanol. But this, a higher octane or a high octane pump gas would be fine.
Yeah. Good question.
Yeah. What other questions you guys got? Because, like I said, that's about all all my days tend to run together. So I can't even remember what I did this week other than that one fender. That was the goal.
You kept thinking it was Thursday or Friday too, and not Thursday.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my days have been all messed up, and got a little bit more progress on the MGA over the weekend. Got some floorboards in, got the new footwell made. What else? Did I get some new parts? I can't remember. Like I said, everything's blurring together.
Gabe wants to know, will the ECM be mounted under the dash? And will it have an OBD2 plug also?
I don't know if the Haltechs have OBD2 or just their own proprietary plug, but it will have some kind of hookup so we can plug it in and tune it with a computer, like a laptop computer. There was a tray in here that mounted to these 4 bolts, and it was the old wiring. It didn't have a computer, but it was like the relay box and the ignition. So we're gonna put the ECU there, and then hopefully come out of the little ECU, drop right through that Canon plug, and move everything forward.
Oh, cool.
So I think that it's a Nexus 4, Nexus 3, but it should be about this big squared. So nice and compact.
Cool.
It should be here tomorrow because I ordered the wiring harness, the computer, and some remaining sensors from Haltech. I paid for it this morning, so it should be here tomorrow. It's just coming from Lexington. Actually, I think they're coming to Garage Night.
Oh, cool.
The Haltech Special Projects Department. And they're going to bring up the 7-inch digital dash data logger for the MGA and all the sensors so I can start getting that stuff in.
Yeah, so hopefully if they do ship it normal, it should come pretty...
Well, they're going to bring it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're going to
I
bring
thought you meant this one.
They're,
Both of them?
yeah, I just said,
okay.
hey, if you're coming up tomorrow with the one for the
Oh,
MGA,
okay.
can
Yeah.
you bring the
I
other
was
one?
going to ask you. Okay.
Yeah, to save shipping.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah,
Cool.
so hopefully we'll have both of those tomorrow, and then we can hopefully start mapping out the new 7-inch digital dash in the MGA,
And Tom will be here next weekend.
Tom
so
will be back in town next week and helping with that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he'll be here for the live. He might be. He's coming in on Thursday the 12th.
Yeah.
So I don't
It
know
just
if,
depends on time.
yeah.
Yeah. Steve, hello, Steve. And then T Saint said, when you do the wiring, do you make a duplicate backup harness to use in case of an issue?
I do not. We just address it as it comes, like if an issue arises. But the good thing is we got the harness from Haltech, so it's not fully terminated. It'll just come out, and this will be easy. I think we have to run a crank trigger, a temp sensor, O2 sensor, a wideband, oil pressure, and just a few little things. It's going to be a bare minimum, just whatever it takes to make it run. You know, we're not putting a data logger on it or any real sensors, just enough to make it run and tunable.
Oh, Outshine Copper's here. Hello.
Yeah, welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, and this will be like my first, like I've not done anything with modern ECU stuff, so this will kind of be the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll...
Should be fun because you love wiring.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is Brian doesn't mind that stuff. And keeping it simple, like, you know, this one being simple, then when we do the Roadster with the LS, we're going to use a Haltech in it.
Yeah.
And it'll be a little bit more in-depth. And I think next season we're going to put a Haltech engine management on the MGA, and we'll probably use Haltech for the Hanchard Special Roadster too.
Cool.
So I have a bunch of stuff that needs modernized ECU, so I'm going to be learning trial by fire.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's how you
operate.
That's how you operate. That's what you do with a 3D printer.
Yep.
Yeah. What you do with CAD.
Do it with everything. Do it with just life.
Yeah, just life, man.
Just life.
Just life, man.
Yeah, so what are the questions you guys got?
Yeah. Or if you guys want to see anything, let us know.
Yeah. And like I said, next week, hopefully the back room will have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Because I think that that repeater, I think they said it's good for like 15,000 square feet.
Yeah, so we should be fine.
Yeah, so even if we have to just use that as a subnetwork to run the whole building, maybe.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we might need someone, if anybody wants to be our phone a friend, let us know.
Yeah.
Rick said, how's the Mustang going?
I haven't worked on it in a couple weeks because we've
We
been
can
on
walk over
other
there.
things. I think last time we talked about it, I was working on the new quarter extensions. So that's one thing you guys have to keep in mind is that, you know, Brian's working on one car and I'm working on the other, so it's not like we can work on everything all at once. So things get spread up, and it could be 4 or 5 weeks before I get back to that project. So same where we left off, building the new quarter extensions and figuring out what we're going to do with the bumper. Because I think it's been about a month since I've been on it.
Yeah.
So it is on my list. We'll walk over here to the board. It's going to be a couple more weeks, just because everything's got pushed back, just because of life. So next week I'm going to be back on this, the 51 convertible that I've been trying to be on for a month. It's just every week putting out fires, chasing my own tail. But I wanted to wrap up the the IndyCar fender so it could be done and gone. And then I'm going to work on the convertible next week while Brian's working on the Kirby Roadster, which is in the back, finishing up all of his stuff. And then I will be on the Kirby Roadster the week after that to finish up what I need to do, which is like a new tow board and some metal around the shifter. And then that one can be finished up and head home to the client as well. So we're just trying to get a few things wrapped up. And we'll talk about it when I get there, but I'll be on some custom like steps and fender mounts for a cab over. that same week, and then I can get back to the Mustang.
Yeah, yeah.
So scheduling is the hardest, and actually keeping to that schedule for me when I'm just a distraction of myself.
Yeah, yeah. Gabe said, did you guys decide to change the rear end on the Indy, or still working on that?
I'm going to talk to the client about it tomorrow. He hasn't been out to see it since the engine showed up, so I wanted to get all of that stuff done and then kind of cross that bridge when he's out here tomorrow and see what his thoughts are on it.
Yeah, he'll come to garage night probably,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, like I think that would be the best option, especially because we have to do something with the rear end because it's shoved over too far. It's like 4.5 inches out of center line. So I don't want to run a short drive shaft at that angle. So we're either going to have to modify that rear end or put a quick change in it, but something is going to have to happen. Yeah. And that's just the joys of you change the engine and transmission, make stuff more usable, everything downstream gets changed, and it just opens up a can of worms.
Yeah, yeah. T-Saint said, do you have a go-to wiring connector preference? Like, he likes, I guess it looks like Deutsch.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So
is that right?
for Canon plugs, I use Deutsch.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then like everything else, just any standard style like Delphi, Weather Pack, or anything like that. But for Canon plugs, I always use the bigger Deutsch pass-throughs.
I'm just glad I pronounced that right.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Proud of me.
Yeah, Deutsch. Yeah, what are the questions? Ugh, what are the questions you guys got?
Your turn to run into stuff.
Yeah, well, that was a nice sharp edge in the back of the leg.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, I haven't asked quite yet.
No questions. So
I know, you should have got, hopefully you guys got the newsletter.
yeah, newsletter.
What else did we do?
We changed the tiers on Patreon, so
Yep.
now there's pretty much only one tier,
Yeah.
and it's a $10 tier, and that gets you, I think it gets you what, 15% off on the store,
Yep.
and it gets you
Yep.
access to the Discord server and full-length podcast, which we actually need to go back and
Yeah,
finish
we
that
should.
one episode.
Yeah.
If life ever slows down, that's the hard part. Is it just gets faster and faster and busier and busier.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did that, and I've got some artwork being done by 2 different artists. So hopefully, I'm still looking forward to that poster coming out of like all the things I talk about in the metal shaping class.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have a proof of that in a couple weeks.
We got some questions. Martin said, when you first started Cornfield, what were your 4 main tools you had?
I had an angle grinder, a MIG welder that I was borrowing, and that was pretty much it. Like hammers and dollies, but that was about all I had.
Yeah. Did you have hammers and dollies when you started? I guess you did.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I don't know how much, like,
I didn't have. I think I had like two or three dollies and 1 hammer.
right, I was going to say, because I don't know how much, like, metal shaping you did.
No,
you
when I
first
started, it was anything I could do to make money.
Oh, right. So, like, brake jobs, oil change, like,
Yeah, cabin filter, rust repair, minor auto body, some
yeah,
paint.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever I could do to make rent.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty
For
much
sure.
it. Like it was an angle grinder, a MIG welder that I was borrowing. I did have a JD squared tube bender that I was borrowing, and I think that was about it.
Yeah. Like, I can't really remember what tool. It was all hand tools.
Yeah.
That's all I
And
remember.
a
You had a
frame-
cart. You
Yeah,
had
and a
cart.
frame table.
Yeah, you had a frame table.
That was it.
How'd you get the frame table to start with?
I pulled that out of the dumpster
Trash,
at the pulled it out of a scrap dumpster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because before I started the shop, I had an adult job, like right out of high school for a few months, and they built tractor trailers, and they changed the design of the trailer, so they built the frames and everything, and they went through, and they had like 40 tables that they built the big rigs boxes on, and they clipped, I think, 4 feet off of the end of every table because they'd shortened up the design. So they had 4-foot sections of these tables in the dumpster, and I pulled it out of the dumpster, and that's what this is.
I was going to say, isn't that this table over here?
Yeah. Yeah, so this was 60 feet long this way,
Yeah.
and the plate top wasn't on it. It was just I-beam.
Yeah.
So if you look, this is the side that was cut. Because if you look at the
Okay.
other side, like these are just tubing legs that I found at the scrapyard
Yeah.
and cut them. The other side is I-beam.
Yeah, they're actual legs over there.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And
I
we
knew
were,
that.
we were just talking, hopefully the furnace didn't come on, and
Yeah.
it did. Let me
Yeah,
turn
it
that
did.
off.
It's fine. Yeah, if you guys want to hear us laugh about old stuff, we can do that all day.
Yeah.
Gabe said when you're done with the car in the back, will you do a photo dump on it also? He'd really like to see it. I guess, which car, Gabe? Maybe Steve's car?
Yeah, Steve Kirby's car. So there is a build album on that car.
That's what I was going to say, too.
It's the Kirby Roadster. It's on Facebook. I did that car 14 years ago. So there's not a lot of updates because all we did was put a new transmission in it, new mount, new lines, a bunch of little maintenance and repair stuff after 14 years of other people working on it and him wanting to upgrade some parts. So it's nothing glamorous, but I mean, I'll post a handful of pictures. If you want, let us know in the Discord and I can post any picture you want.
Yeah. Gabe, I think if you, would it be called the Kirby?
Yeah, it's the Kirby Roadster on Facebook.
It's probably in an album on the Cornfield business page from like you said, 15 years ago.
Well, it'll be recent too because I added when we did the Duval style windshield.
Yeah, that's a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think that was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So it'll still be back a ways, but it's on there.
Yeah, so that one's, we were talking about that car in general because you've been working on it, and it is pretty cool that he's a really wonderful guy, good customer, and how nice it is to have like someone you build a car for like keep coming back, like.
Yeah, because it'll be like every couple years, hey, I want to change this because we did the Duval windshield and then he put it in a ditch and we straightened the front end out and then he decided he wanted an all chrome front end.
Yeah.
So then we put a new chrome front end under it last year. And then this year he's like, hey, I want a new transmission. I want new motor mounts put in it. I want you to fix the rear end because he had somebody put a quick change in it with a different 4-link to fix all of that stuff, make it ride better, new brake lines, new fuel lines, new pedals that fit him better. Just stuff that's changed because, I mean, we built it for him 14 years ago. So he's aged 14 years and his taste has changed a little bit. Yeah. So.
And it's nice because it's still a nice car.
Yeah, it's still a nice car. And the good thing is he drives it.
Yeah.
Like he drove it, he's in West Virginia. He's driven it, I think he's driven it to Texas. He's driven it all over the East Coast. He took it to the gathering at the Rock. He's going to take it to Lone Star Roundup. So that's what we're getting it ready for. So he's going to drive it to Texas. Trying to get him to take it to Bonneville. Yeah. I mean, he's been all over. I bet he's put 50, 60,000 miles on that car.
Yeah. Okay. We got a handful of questions. Frederick said, do your classes cover sheet metal repair or just fabrication?
They go hand in hand. So our intro level classes mainly talk about paper patterning, layout, how to get the metal to move with basic hand tools, and then we get up into more advanced stuff with some of the machinery. So it goes into repair as well, like if you've got something that's overstretched, how to shrink that back. If you're trying to replace a panel with a new panel or an aftermarket panel, how to get those to match up. But I try to cater the classes to who's here. So if a bunch of guys are curious on hammer and dolly techniques on how to work out dents, we can talk about it in the class. But most of the time it's kind of starting more from scratch, making panels based on original pieces. But they do go hand in hand.
Yeah. Martin said his wife would like to know about your tattoo work you had done.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We were talking about this before, so we're not laughing.
It's funny. So originally I guess the one yesterday. I'm supposed to start a very large back piece. So I'm going to do from my neck to my butt of a giant clipper ship, and it's going to be extremely bold, very vibrant color, but a traditional styling.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, we were supposed to start it yesterday, and then every 4 weeks, another day appointment for the next 6 months. So that's just showing how elaborate it's going to be. And he got a hold of me and said that his, I don't know what the machine is, the one that takes the artwork and makes a usable template out of it, the bulb had burned out and he'd had a hard time finding a replacement. So he wanted to know if we could do something else. So I had found a Bonneville patch that I wanted and sent him the picture, and it's smaller, and we got it on my chest instead of my back. And he did it in black and gray. And while I was there, we were talking about a Bobby Hill tattoo, and it ended up being a Booby Hill. So he is on the side of my chest.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maybe we'll take some pictures later. And
yeah.
We don't want to get flagged for nudity on YouTube. Yeah. That's what we were joking about before the live.
It's not even nudity; it's just offensive content with me taking my shirt off.
Yeah, that's what we were joking about before. So Grand Camper Van said hello, and Gabe said about the Steve Kirby stuff. He said, yeah, he'd like to see it, and he'll go check it out. Yeah, so let us know what you want to see, Gabe, and we'll send it over.
Yeah. Comment on the Discord server and say, hey, show me these pictures, and I'll take whatever pictures you want. Or even a video, and we can post videos on the Discord.
I think so, yeah, we should be able to. Ken says, how do you have time to work on the cars in your shop? You're always busy.
Yeah, I am always busy. I just make it happen. Like I do the best I can with the time I've got, and I really do try to iron it out. Like my day is gridded, so I get here about 7 o'clock. I work from 7 to 9 doing emails, frame design, shipping, and ordering. I try to get
Office stuff.
Yeah, office stuff. Get that done by 9, and then I hit the shop. And from 9 to noon, I work on client stuff, and then usually from post lunch, 1 o'clock to 4-ish, 5-ish, depends on the day. I'll work on customer stuff, and then I try to dip out at 5 and work from 5 to 6 on my own stuff.
Yeah.
And I do that Monday through Thursday, and then Fridays I try to do small jobs. Sometimes, like the past couple weeks, there's been a lot of fires I've been having to put out, so ordering more parts, chasing parts, machine issues, tubing issues, that kind of stuff that have taken me away from a lot. So it comes in spurs. Like there'll be some that I'll bill 40 hours solid in a week, and then there'll be others that'll be like 5 hours of actual billable. So it kind of averages out.
And kind of like too with that fender, when you were like, oh, done with that piece, I'm gonna start over. I think you were working on it on Saturday, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I screw something up, I'll make up for it where I can. And if I'm traveling a lot, like when we went to Australia, I didn't work on my own stuff for like 2 months beforehand, because it's like we have got to get
right
ahead of this. And same thing when I got back, it was like 2 months of none of my own stuff, because I don't think I started working on the MGA getting ready for El Mirage till January.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you started till January, and even then, same thing too. It's usually just maybe Saturday, Sunday, and maybe Friday afternoon.
Yeah, but when it's something like pre-Australia or post-Australia or pre-Bonneville, post-Bonneville, as long as I'm not thrashing to get a car ready for a race, it's going to be 7 days a week on customer stuff, trying to get ahead of it or play catch up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, good question. ADD Garage said, when you first got into this, did you go to any metal shaping classes that somebody was offering?
Nope, I have never taken a metal shaping or fabrication class. The only thing I ever took was in high school. I went to vocational school, and I took 2 years. My junior, senior year was machining and welding. Other than that, that's all. That's the only education I have.
Yeah, and I guess you were an instructor. You at classes where other people were there too, so you pick up stuff from that.
I pick up little things like that, but I've never gone and taken a dedicated class just for myself.
Yeah. So a lot of self-taught, but going out online.
And asking questions and like
forums.
Deep diving and forums, YouTube videos, Instagram, all of that stuff. Like I just observe, and if it's something I can't comprehend, I'll reach out to who posted it and say, hey, can you elaborate a little bit more or show me this?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no formal training or real classes.
Yeah. Dalton said you've got the best tattoo ideas. I know. Yeah, good and bad, I guess.
Yeah, good and bad.
T-Sane said, is there something meaningful to the clipper ship?
Nope. I'm at the stage in life where I just have so many tattoos that they're just...
That's because you want them.
Because I want them. Like, I think it'd be a good piece. It'd look good on my back. I don't have a lot of traditional American stuff, and I just think it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, and your back's...
Oh, wide open.
Wide open.
Yeah.
Gabe said, right, Dalton, LOL. Michael said, how did the new rail mandrels go, and did that fix the crinkle and splitting issues?
I don't have the mandrel yet. Usually, because they're custom-made mandrels, so it's usually about 3 to 4 week lead time, so it should be coming any day. I did get this today.
What'd you get?
So for our 2x4 188, with some of the tubing issues I was having, I think I showed the box a couple weeks ago. So some of the tubing we were getting, sorry. This is what a normal mandrel looks like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought we should.
Yeah. So you have the solid section, and then depending on the wall thickness and the shape, you'll have 2 or 3 balls, and that's what goes beyond the tangent point into the bend. So on the 188, I had that weird batch, and the it was kind of collapsing in and pinching the final ball, and it broke it. So here is 3 broken balls, which is really fun because these are $500 a piece. So yeah, there's $1,500 worth of broken mandrel there, which is really fun. So these showed up. I custom ordered them as replacements. So these are aluminum bronze, but they are for this mandrel. So this is our 2x4 188. The one I showed you over there is 2x4 120. So it was like this. I didn't pay attention to it when it broke. Well, I looked at it today. What do they call it? This piece, the edge is broken off.
Oh no, yeah. So do you have to get
It's a link, they call it. So this is an end link. So the end link is broken and I can't use it. So I called them and ordered an end link, and they're shipping me an end link set. So then I have to disassemble the mandrel and build it with one new end ball. So these showed up, so then the 188 mandrel will be completely fixed, and then hopefully the custom mandrel to work with the new batch of tubing, hopefully it'll be here in the next couple days, because these were all ordered on the same day. So hopefully they were knocking these out, and then my full mandrel, maybe they were just assembling it and it needed a couple more days.
What's the one down there?
That is a 2x3.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right, because you ordered that for.
Yep.
I'll do 2x3.
Yeah. So that's just what's really fun is, you know, that was $3,500. This one was $3,500. That one's $3,500, and then the new one is. So
Yeah.
mandrels are very expensive.
It's not Velveeta cheese.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully everything is fixed.
Yeah.
We will see.
Cross
I've
our
got
fingers.
bending lubricant all over me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are good questions. Keep them going, because I can answer your questions more than I can just ramble on about nothing. So
Yeah.
get those questions in.
Gay wants to know, when you coated the headers for the MGA, did you have the inside done as well? And did you had them done with ceramic, correct?
Yes. I can grab one because only one of them's on the car so far.
I'll stay up here.
Yeah, I can talk while it does. It should connect.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are done on the inside to the best that they can. Obviously, they can't see all the way up in the tube, but they do kind of fog the ceramic powder up inside.
They fog it.
Yeah, so you can see that they do blow it up in there the best they can, but it's kind of hard. So it's not 100% perfectly coated on the inside, but the good thing is these are thick wall tubing as well. But yeah, so they're not fully cured yet. They cure them to 500, and then when you run it is the final cure stage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so hopefully
So like
I'll get this one on this weekend.
it's like when a painter says, like, you got to wait because your car's not
Yeah.
cured, but
Yeah,
this
because like
one is legitimate.
yeah, I think they said like the final cure temperature is like 1,000 or 1,100 degrees, so you got to cycle the engine.
Okay.
Their booth only goes to 500, so they can't fully cure it.
Oh, did you have this done up the street then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, JSC Coatings does all of my coatings, whether it be straight powder, ceramic, anything like that.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Was, cool.
Yeah, and I just love the blue because most people hate it.
I think it's
And,
cute.
and it's funny just because you can't see any of it.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, once it's in the car, you won't see any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because I've got the driver's side, or the right-hand side, I got that one tube coupler all cut, welded, put in. That header is on, new gaskets, everything torqued down, starter in, that's reassembled. And I have to finish welding up the tube couplers on the left-hand side, and then I can put the header and the gasket in.
Oh, and I guess I should say too, Dennis told us he wouldn't be here tonight, so he let me know.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah, that way we don't have to worry about Dennis.
I don't have to worry about Dennis. He's okay.
Yeah,
It was planned.
yeah. Yeah, so what other questions you
Yeah.
got?
If you want to.
It was funny because we were talking about the tattoo thing, and I said that I thought it was going to be Dalton that asked to see the Bobby Hill tattoo. I figured that's who it would be, especially because he commented on the poll, and or he voted on the poll, and then he sent me a DM saying that it was funny.
Yeah.
So I figured out of everybody, he would be the one.
Yeah, tell them what you talked to your tattoo artist about, and you're like, I don't know where I want to put it, and
What the story of how it came about?
yeah,
So it's a Bobby Hill face tattoo, and I was going to get it on my man boob, and Bobby Hill sounds like Booby Hill, so we didn't know if we wanted to do an under booby or a side Booby Hill. It got a little bit more risque, but we won't get into that.
Yeah.
And the poll was a side Booby Hill, and that's what we ended up with.
Well, and you told your tattoo artist, like, I don't care, I don't know where to put it, and you're like, let's put it up on Instagram as an Instagram
Yeah,
poll.
yeah, because we couldn't decide. We're like,
Yeah.
we don't know, so we'll just leave it to the people.
Leave it to the, luckily, ultimately, I think I decided, right?
No.
Or, nope. You,
No,
you went by the poll.
the
It
poll-
worked out.
yeah.
The poll and I agreed.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I feel like
That's
I should.
kind of where I was leaning, but I'm like, I don't know.
I feel like I should have a bigger say than
Yeah.
the Instagram poll, but it's fine.
Yeah.
We agreed. It worked out.
Yeah, it's just a silly tattoo.
Yeah, for sure.
And it literally took 4 minutes to get the Bobby Hill, so it was even funnier.
Yeah. Gabe said the headers look good. He digs the blue, and he said, did you have the salty one done? Had the salty done with the blue also?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the funny thing is a bunch of people hated the blue, and that's why these ended up that way. People just do not like it. And one of the team members that built the engine, he said he almost spray painted them black before he brought the engine back. And I'm like, that would have been really bad. So that's kind of why I used their spite to get those coated blue, because I could pick whatever color and it was the same price.
Yeah. Michael said, I like the blue. Some of their race cars are light gray and some are bronze. He says bronze looks great. Yeah, I would. That sounds pretty.
Yeah. And the reason it started with that is there's a Hot Rod magazine. I can't remember if it's a Boss 429 or a Boss 427. It's sitting on the cover, not in a car, and it's kind of dark behind it. And it had Ford Racing Blue headers on it. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. And that's what started it. And now it's just a thing I do, I guess.
Yeah. Dalton said he thought about getting one too, and he's talking about Bobby Hill.
Oh, yeah?
I think. And then Gabe said, post that up on Discord. So I think he's also talking about Bobby Hill.
Yeah.
And then Reese said, this is why I can't keep a straight face.
Yeah.
He said, thankfully, you didn't think about a knobby hill.
We did think about Nobby Hill.
Which is why I'm laughing so hard.
Yeah, so that conversation did come up, but I didn't want my unit in my tattoo artist's hands with a needle. So yeah, Nobby Hill was not a viable option, and we went with Booby Hill. So good thing I clicked that this is not for children. Yeah, Nobby Hill was a good discussion yesterday with me and the tattoo
You
artist.
guys are weird, but
Yeah.
it's funny. Rat Rod said, thoughts on gas weld aluminum versus TIG?
It's just a different technique, and the good thing with gas welding aluminum is you don't get that stress riser crack on the inside, just due to the flux. But then you have to clean the flux or else it'll corrode. So it's kind of 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. If I'm doing like a fuel tank or something that I can't get access to, I'll try to gas weld it, but I'm not the best at gas welding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody else say something funny?
Dalton just said, LOL, Reese.
People.
I know. Somebody wants to know, what is your best go-to tool in your workshop?
It depends on what I'm doing. I mean, there's, if we're making frames, then obviously the power hammer is not going to be as beneficial as the mandrel bender. But if we're making door skins, the power hammer is going to be my go-to. So it just depends on the task at hand. And every tool in the shop has its own usefulness and its purpose. If it's not here to be beneficial or make money, I won't have it.
Well, there's some stuff you just like it because it's cool.
Yeah.
Old stuff, I guess.
Yeah. So I know that's not the best answer, but it's kind of honest. I've got my hands in so many different things that each tool has its own dedicated purpose and task.
Yeah, he said thank you. And I would say,
Probably the most used is a hammer and dolly.
That's exactly what I was gonna. That's where my train of
Yeah.
thought was going. What's your most frequently used is
Yeah.
hammer and dolly for sure. Yeah, I was gonna say the power hammer after that, but maybe not.
It depends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Welder, I mean, everything
depends
gets used.
on the week
It
and
depends on the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other questions you guys got?
They also want to know, what's your best homemade tool?
I don't know.
Why don't you show a couple of your homemade tools? Why don't we
Well,
start there? Because I don't know if it's best.
Homemade is, it's hard.
Yeah.
Because, like, is our shrinking disc homemade? Is our corking tool homemade? Is the coining tool homemade? Is the radius gauge homemade? Like,
Let's do something that you didn't have to like get machined. Something you made like here. That's what I was.
yeah, like this is one of my cooler pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, technically we didn't do it here. Jamie and I took
True.
a blacksmith class, but this was hand forged out of 4140, and like I made the handle and everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, this one's pretty cool, especially because I use it all the time.
And I made one too.
And Jamie made one too.
And it's at the house.
Yep. And like a lot of stuff, like the early corking tool and coining tool, that was made here. You know, like I didn't send it out and have it machined. I machined it by hand.
Yeah.
So all the prototype stuff is that way. Yeah, I don't know. There's, let's see, there's a lot of stuff in the hammer and dolly drawer.
That's what I was gonna say because I thought you made some hammer, like you've made hammer heads or altered hammer heads a lot.
Oh yeah, like, you know, I've made reverse curve slappers, which we're gonna actually get into production. I don't know where that little tool was, the little edge tool. Yeah, like I made this little dolly for doing wire edging on the Mack truck fenders. So nothing fancy, just a little funky shaped dolly. This is the edge turner I used to turn the start of the wire edge on those Mack fenders because that was so big I couldn't put it in the Linux.
So did you make that like just out of a piece of?
Yeah, this was just 1 inch by 1 inch bar stock.
And same.
Yeah, this was like 3 inch by 2 inch bar stock.
Okay.
And like this was a one-time use thing, so I didn't make it out of 4140 or any tool steel.
Yeah. Cool. When you bend up chassis rails, do you factor in a crumple zone or just follow the OG shape and profile?
OG shape and profile, I don't worry about the crumple zone. Multiple reasons. Calculating that crumple zone could also put me in liability. If I design it to have one and it doesn't do what I need it to do, I could be held liable. And then also, if I send out just pre-made rails and somebody bypasses that, it's kind of null and void. So I don't get into that part. I just bend it based on the profile.
Yeah. ADD Garage said, is that little ring hammer in the box worth it?
Yeah. So I've got multiples. Like I cut the ring off of one because I wanted to use the little dolly. So I just cut it off. But then I bought its cute little one.
Where'd you get it?
Matco Tools.
Ooh.
Yep, right on the tool truck.
Yeah, and then you cut it?
Yep. Voided the warranty.
I know.
Yeah, but I like it a lot. They're handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are the questions you got?
Someone said they like the edge turner. Dalton said super cool. Michael Anderson said fair point. Thanks for clarifying. ADD Garage said you should have said it wasn't worth it. I'm a hammer collector hoarder. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it was like $60. You know, it's not like it's a $10,000 tool. I'm telling you to go out and buy. At least it's cheap.
Well, kind of like your snips, right?
Yeah.
Like they died this week, and you just buy a new pair.
Yeah, a brand new pair of Midwest snips was like $26.
Yeah.
You know, is it worth me calling them and complaining that the pin broke after a year's worth of hard use?
And
Send me a
use that.
replacement pin on a set of snips that have seen a lot of miles.
Well, and talk about most commonly used tools. That's probably up there too, for
Yeah,
sure.
snips. I mean, I cut miles and miles with snips.
Yeah, for sure. This is his handles are, I'm assuming, is me77me is the person who's asked a lot of questions. I remember watching Ale on American Hot Rod. Very interesting guy, or maybe Al. He used to heat the chassis to settle it before unclamping it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what it is. I don't know. I'd have to watch it and see what they were doing.
Yeah.
But like my thought is, you just have to be careful introducing heat into something because it might not move the way you want it to move.
Yeah. Yeah. Another variable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just another variable. And yeah, usually if you build a fixture that holds it and it's built properly, it won't spring when you take it out.
Yeah. Cool. We are close-ish on time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, what are the questions you guys got?
Get any last minute questions or anything you want to see?
It's really been that long?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so get those questions in. Hopefully you guys can come to garage night tomorrow, and if not,
Yeah.
hopefully you can make it to one of the garage nights this summer. Yeah. And if you can't make it to a garage night, keep in mind if you sign up as a patron and you hit the Discord server, you will be invited to come to the High Speed Social.
Yeah.
So we actually went to so we're looking at food stuff, and me and Jamie like to try out new restaurants every weekend anyway.
yeah.
So we found a good barbecue place that we might have cater.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty good. So
Yeah.
something else. And you know, the food, like, you guys would be responsible for getting here, but the food and me taking you around on the private shop tours and stuff is included in that.
Yeah, we got that handled.
Yep. So just kind of a meet and greet appreciation for all of our behind the paywall supporters. And
Yeah.
then we are going to all ride out to Bonneville.
ADD Garage wants to know, what model of Midwest snips do you get?
I get the offset aviation. I can actually give you a part number. So I don't know which one's the actual part number. If it's the 6510L, I would guess so. 6510 left. Those are the ones I've always used. So just the offset aviation snip.
Yeah, and you just bought them off a good old Zon, right?
Yep, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, Reese said, can you post the part number you used for Midwest Snips? He's gone to buy them in the past and found a few options. He likes yours from the course. Oh, yeah, because you took them to Australia.
I did.
Oh, your Australia pair died.
Yeah. They,
R.I.P.
yeah,
They've been around
yep.
the
over
world.
here. Yep, over here in the scrap bin. Broke. Just sheared the pin right off. Yep. Rip.
So they said they find heat shrinking amazing. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a neat thing when you actually put it into practice.
Yeah. Jeffrey says, do you put something on your grinder disc or tools to grind or cut aluminum so it doesn't clog?
Yep, I use paraffin wax. So anytime I'm cutting aluminum with a cutoff wheel, jigsaw blade, bandsaw, grinder, carbide tool, I buy these big tubes of paraffin wax, and there's one sitting on the table.
I think we showed this last week too.
Yeah.
It's usually sitting on the table.
Yeah, so I just buy these, and they're just long tubes of wax.
Yeah, because you've had that one for ever.
Yeah, I mean, it usually, like, because when they come in, they're like this long, then I cut them into little pieces. It takes me a couple years to use one.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything with like paraffin wax or a beeswax, you can use candles, you can use bar soap, just something that will liquefy when it gets some heat to it and keep it from clogging up what you're cutting with.
Someone else wants to know, how's the Mustang coming along in Idaho? I don't think they won't make garage night, although it sounds fun.
Yeah, just plugging away on it.
Yeah.
It's going to be back on rotation in the next couple weeks, and hopefully we'll have more progress on it then.
Yeah. And someone wants to know, do you use a plasma by hand?
No, I do. I have one. I don't even know where it is. I don't use the plasma for anything. It's buried back behind the mandrel bender in the corner.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I used it. It was probably for cutting something out in the parking lot.
You probably kind of see it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, everything is either going to be done on the CNC plasma, or it's going to be rough cut with a cutoff wheel and then tin snipped. I don't like the mess the plasma makes. The mess on the ground, the smoke. You got to clean the edge up. I bought that brand new, and I thought it was going to be the coolest thing ever, and then I used it for like a year, and I'm like, yeah, there's way better ways to do all of this stuff.
Yeah. Well, you don't know until you try it, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought you had a portable. I'm thinking the torch probably.
Well, yeah, I've got the oxyacetylene torch.
Yeah.
I've got the plasma. I've got a little portable welder. A lot of stuff I don't use all the time, but when I need it, I need it.
Yeah, you got it. Alchin Copper said, do you have any preference for drill bits for drilling through 16 gauge and thinner steel and aluminum? Smaller holes like 3/8 and smaller? Do you ever sharpen bits, or is it easier just to replace?
So what I like to use is, so I'm really big on the Matco guy because he comes every week and his stuff's warranted. So I get these Matco drill indexes. So there you can see the part number, and they are the like the step bit point. But the cool thing with these is they're warranted against dullness and breakage. So the first 2 rows, so all of these are warranted forever for dullness and breakage, and then the last row is not. So 1/4 inch to 1/16 is not. But for those, I'll usually drill an 1/8 inch pilot hole, and then you can get what I call an OCC bit, Orange County chopper bit. It's what they drilled everything with, or just a step bit. Also from Matco, and these are warranted forever against dullness and breakage. So I use a lot of those.
So how often do you have to switch them out?
I've got 3 indexes, so usually every couple months I'll be like, hey, I've got some broken drill bits, like right now. Like here's some warranted out drill bits that he's gonna hopefully have in the next week.
Cool.
So I like that aspect that they are warranted and that he'll come here and I just give him the broken bits, and usually he has them on the truck because he'll have an index that he'll just steal one out of.
Yeah.
But same thing, like we've got a couple more.
You liking your little cart?
I do. Yeah, like here's another Matco step bit that's warranted forever.
Cool.
So
Big fan of warranties around here.
I am, because I am rough on the equipment.
Yeah, for sure. And you use it a ton, so.
Yeah, and like there's some stuff like, you know, Harbor Freight has a tool warranty, but Harbor Freight is 15 minutes from here, so then I have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And they might not have it in stock, or they might want to argue over it. When the Matco guy comes every week, and he's a good friend of mine and doesn't ask questions.
And he has a dog with him.
Yeah, sometimes he has a dog with him.
Yeah, you
Good old Bailey.
You get to pet Bailey.
Yeah. Bentley.
Oh, Bentley. Yeah, you're right. Gabe said, best hole saws for sheet metal, or what do you use that seems to work well?
I just use the Milwaukee, what are they? Whatever Home Depot has. Like you can get annular cutters, but they're really expensive. And again, I'm rough on the equipment. Yeah, so I usually just use the Milwaukee hole dozers. Yeah, if it's something I'm gonna do a ton of, like, say we have to do a ton of 1-inch holes, I'll do some research and find an annular cutter to use. But most of the time, it's either going to be punched in the Rotex up to 2 inches,
that's right.
or we'll just use a Milwaukee hole saw.
Yeah. Me77 said, Rick was the man on OCC. Outshine Copper said, that's cool. You've never seen them like that before on the longer one. OCC bits, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
I think that's funny.
Yeah, I don't think they used any other drill bit other than a step bit on that TV show.
Yeah.
So, nicknamed OCC bit.
Yeah. Outshine Copper said, I said that one. Michael said, over the years, he found buying high quality drill bits worth the money as the cheapies fail or dull real quick.
Yeah. Because another one, like if it wasn't for the Matco guy warranting those, I would be all about the K and cut drill bits. I used those when I went down and did the 1 week car build at Brian Fuller's, and they have the unibit style tip as well, and they were really nice. So if it wasn't for the Matco guy warranting all of those out, I would be all over the K and cut ones.
Yeah. Cool. What's up, Dirty Dave said, are you coming back to Australia?
Hopefully. It'll probably be next 2027.
Yeah.
I've just got too much on my list this year, and next year's starting to look busy already.
Yeah.
So I need to talk to Rick over at Heron Forbes
Yeah.
or Machinery House and try to get that figured out.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd like to see, like Sydney was great, nothing against Sydney, but I would also like to see more of the country, hit up some different big cities and maybe some not so big cities out in the middle of nowhere, and just kind of check it out.
Yeah, and we met the coolest people.
Yeah,
so
I'd like to check out New Zealand.
Yeah, we would like to go to New Zealand for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be kind of up in the air, I guess, if I go next time or not. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see, yeah. It was a good trip. It was kind of funny to, tell people at work. They're like, what? You went to Australia? I'm like, yeah.
It was just crazy to be there for a month. Like,
yeah, it was cool. It was really, even if that for some reason is the only time we get to go.
Yeah, it was
that was worth it
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, Michael said when you come back to Oz, will you hit Melbourne? Exactly, like we would like to.
Yeah, because like when Rick and I talked about it before, you guys from Australia will know more of where like all the Heron Forbes are, like in the big cities. But he talked about doing a weekend class in Sydney and then a weekend class in Adelaide and Melbourne and Victoria and Gold Coast, and just pretty much hit everywhere that they have a store. So I'd like to see a lot more of the country, and that's why we were talking about hitting New Zealand, because I think they've got a facility on New Zealand. So we would try to do like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday class at each one of the facilities and go around to each one. But
Yeah.
the only problem with that is that's a lot of time away. So we might have to
Exactly.
break that up over a couple years or a spring and a fall event.
Yeah, for sure. Someone else said it's impossible to have a metal shop in the UK this day and age. Everything is against them. That stinks.
Yeah.
Michael said Heron Forbes in Dandenong has a big shop. Yeah. I'm not sure if I said that right.
Yeah, so all of the Australian and New Zealand people that are watching
Yeah.
now or in the future, call Rick at Heron Forbes and say, we want to have
Yeah.
Cornfield Mike back, and kind of put some pressure on him, and we'll make it happen.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are just about out of time, so.
Cool. Yeah. So
Do your
if you
spiel.
have any other questions and we didn't get to those, feel free to drop those down in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get to it. If you want a anytime question and answer, make sure to sign up on our Patreon, and that gets you access to our Discord server. It's $10 a month. You get 15% off on the store.
All the time.
And you get access to the Discord server, so you can, it's like a forum, you can ask questions, you can post pictures of your build, there's a community there of other great people. Dalton's on there, Reese is on there, Gabe's on there, there's a bunch of other guys that chime in that I haven't heard on tonight, but we got a handful of guys over there
Yeah,
that are always
Phil.
commenting and helping each other out. So if you miss the days of forums, this is a really good replacement for that. We put it behind the paywall just to eliminate some of the trash that comes with Facebook and other social media platforms. So that way you want to be there and you're not just going to be a shit to be a shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Michael said, I did a good job pronouncing that, and I'm not going to do it again, Michael, sorry. And Reese said New Zealand will be good to catch up with Metallic Art Mike. Did I say that right, too? So, sorry. I can't pronounce normal words.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reese, we agree. We would love to go see them and see you guys. Honestly, meeting some of these people is probably the best part about it, too.
yeah,
SJR Productions wants to know if you're going to El Mirage in May.
that is the plan. As long as we get the car put together, and like as of now, everything's starting to come together. So I don't see why it wouldn't. But that's the plan, is to be there in May. And I think if for some reason we can't make it in May, we'll be there in June.
Yeah.
So that's the plan.
Cool. Dalton said, have a good night, and thanks again. Hit the like button, guys, and join the Discord. Thanks, Dalton. Thanks for always supporting us. We really appreciate it. See, I can't talk. Martin said, do you ship to Canada?
Yes, I do ship to Canada. On the web store, you know, we ship globally. We ship, I mean, I usually ship to Canada multiple times a week. And we can do USPS, we can do DHL. You know, I even shipped some shrinking, like restippled some shrinking dies. I had to ship those back to Canada. Cool. So, yeah, we ship all over the globe.
Oh, yeah. So, What's Up Dirty Dave said he's a few kilometers from Heron Forbes and the place that I cannot pronounce correct. And so he's going to call Rick.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to travel to Sydney. Yeah.
Yeah, call Rick and say, hey, we want this guy back.
Say Mike's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rick's a good guy, and
he is a
that's
super nice guy.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to working with him to get me back over there and do the whole continent tour.
And they've got Christian.
Yeah, they've got Christian Sosa coming over in the next few months, I think. Maybe I don't know. I didn't see when the dates were, but
I didn't see the dates either.
He's coming back.
Yeah, go see Christian. He's a nice guy too. Michael said DHL is better in Australia than useless parcel service.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the funny part is somebody, I can't remember who now, when we went, they wanted your free, like you did a giveaway of a piece, right?
Yeah.
And so we took and we shipped it while we were there to them to try to save some money. And then I sent home postcards while we were there. And we're like, let's see what shows up first. And I shipped, what day did I send the postcards? Like our second or third day we were there.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, or I was there. And then we made it home like a month later, the postcards showed up.
Yeah.
So that was funny. But I think that's it, unless you got anything
Yeah.
else.
So if you got any last minute questions, just go ahead and get those in while I give the spiel. Check out Patreon, check out the Discord server. It's a lot of good fun, and we're constantly growing that. And we're going to get back on the podcast hopefully this weekend.
Yeah, we'll put your tattoo pictures in the
put some
Discord.
in the
exclusive.
Discord. Discord exclusive. Booby Hill.
Booby Hill.
Yeah, coming soon to a Discord near you.
Definitely needs to be behind a paywall. Sorry.
Yeah.
Reese said this coming week, so I guess Christian's going down
Okay,
now.
he's probably on his way.
Yeah, hopefully he's on his way. Yeah, thanks. Al Shea Copper said thanks. Michael said next week, team. Yep, we'll see you guys next week. Put it on your calendar. Yeah, Michael, tell them hit the like if you can. And someone says your workshop looks amazing. Thank you. So
yes, make sure if you haven't done so, if you're new or
yeah.
watching this later on the replay, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop a comment, share. All of that stuff really helps to keep the channel growing. The bigger the channel grows, the more time I can dedicate to higher quality, longer format videos for you guys. I know I've been slacking off a little bit. I think I missed this week.
Yeah.
But
and hopefully maybe we can do like a shop tour next week if we have Wi-Fi all the way.
yeah,
We can,
yeah, and we'll
that'd be fun.
do a shop tour. We can actually show you the back where the GT
Yeah.
is and the MGA. The Kirby Roadster will still be the show, what Gabe was asking about. I've got lots of stuff in the back. So yeah, make sure to be here next week for that. What else do we got?
I think that's it. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so
Appreciate
much. Yeah, make sure to drop down, comment, like, tell us what you want to see in the future, and we will plan accordingly. So thanks again for everybody for tuning in, and we will see you live and dirty at 5:30 next week.